The Bitcoin is falling. The Bitcoin is falling. Hello and welcome back to the weekly crypto review. So, we've got panic in the streets because Bitcoin has dropped a little bit. A little bit being a relative term. Let's just go straight to the charts and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, first off, let's go ahead and look at what we've got for overall. Bitcoin in the last week is down 2.2%. Yeah, it seems like a whole lot more than it really is. Let's see here. Ethereum's down almost 3%, so about the same, a little bit more. Chainlink is up 5% in the last week. That's not bad. It's still not up to its high of $20, but it's working its way up there. We're just under $15. And let's see here, Litecoin. Litecoin is where Litecoin is. It's down by almost 6%. We'll see. I've got a very little bit of Litecoin. I keep my eye on it just in case. EOS, let's see here. We'll bring this up a little bit. EOS is down almost 10% over the week. Cardano, and you'll notice Cardano's dropped out of the top 10. It's not all that unusual. We've got a whole lot of different cryptos doing a whole lot of stuff, so I'm not surprised to see Cardano drop out. We're down to 10 cents. If you wanted to buy Cardano, not investment advice, but if you wanted to buy Cardano, the dip is pretty good at this point. All right, so let's go on to Bitcoin. First off, I wanted to show you the profitable days. If you look at this real close, you'll notice there's a little bit of red here, a little bit of red here, and a little bit of red here. So basically, if you bought in the last few days, last week or two, you're probably down. You probably are not profitable. But almost anywhere else, if you bought Bitcoin, you're profitable. In fact, let's see here. It says out of 3,664 days that Bitcoin has been around, 3,569 of those days are profitable, meaning that if you bought 97.4% of the history of Bitcoin, if you bought on any of those days, you're currently profitable. Fantastic. I'm profitable. All right, let's take a look at the actual charts. So here's what we've got, and it's not unexpected. We're doing a lot like what we did back here with this descending line of resistance. Well, now we're doing it along this yellow line, and currently, hopefully continually, it's acting as support. So, and you can see it went up here through 2 weeks ago. Last week it dropped back down. This week we've gone down a little bit past. I'm hoping it comes back up, and we close the week just above the yellow line. The yellow line is 11,500. That's what I expect to see. We'll see how that works out. Again, we're looking at resistance. We're looking at long-term resistance. We're looking at or support in this case. So we're looking back at where was it resistance? Well, it was resistance back here a year ago, August and July of 2019, when we had that big massive run up in the summer, and everybody thought we're mooning. Well, most of us who've been around a while understood that was not going to happen, but we're at the top of that run. Fantastic. This is exactly what I expect. And of course, it goes all the way back here to February 2018, after things dropped down and we had a bounce here. So this is solid resistance / support that we're looking at. And so I fully expect that worst case scenario, if we break this support, farthest we'll drop is 10,500. And we'll bounce back up. I'd like to see us continue to stay up here above 11.5, because that means the next point of resistance is going to be up here at 13.5. And of course, I'm doing the same thing with that. I went back and looked at where were we? Where was resistance 2 years ago? And that's where I draw the line. That's how this is done, is you look at where was the resistance / support last time. And I'm going to say this is resistance. Not looking at it yet. Let's go back here and take a look. Yeah, we had some resistance right here. Actually, I'm going to say it was a support, actually, right back here. This is where we bounced off. This is where the dead cat bounce from the highs happened. So that's also a pretty good indication of support / resistance. Once we get past that, then it's the all-time highs. That's the next real zone of resistance that we have to worry about. So that's Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is being Bitcoin. It's not a big deal. In fact, if this is the weekly, let's look at the daily. And you can see we are riding this line. Exactly. We are consolidating around this line. So I really don't see us dropping a whole lot below it. I see us going above it and below it, just below it, and riding it until Bitcoin gets to that point of, okay, I'm done with this. Let's move on. So yeah, we're moving sideways along this line of resistance / support, and we will continue to do so until something happens. That's really how that works. So let's take a look here at ADA. All right, so again, we're on the weekly chart for ADA, and we see that it went up. Let's see here. The high on this one was 15 cents. So we've been up as high as 15 cents. And it was a huge run up. And if you look at the RSI down here, it was way overbought. Okay? It had to cool off. Well, now it's cooled off. Okay, I suspect that worst case scenario, and you can see that the shadow of this current weekly candle drops down to about 10.1 cents. Well, our line of support resistance is down here at 9.7 cents, and we're using prior resistance to form support. So worst case scenario, we drop down to about 9 cents and bounce back up. We could do that. I don't know that we will. I think we may start moving our way up a little bit. We'll see. At this point, I don't have enough data to determine what exactly is going to happen. I think we're just going to consolidate. And if we look at the daily to see what's going on, we are moving basically sideways. We've dropped a little bit. Okay, in the last, 2 weeks, we've dropped down a little bit, slowly but surely. Okay, fine. I mean, I don't see anything here of any real concern. This is what crypto does. I'm quite happy with this. Again, I put in a bunch of money at about 12 cents, so I'm down a little bit. I'm not concerned about that. This is how crypto works. So let's take a look real quick at Chainlink. And yes, I'm doing all of these altcoins in USD because, first off, ADA doesn't really correlate to Bitcoin at all. If anything, it would correlate to, in fact, I do have. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I've got a ratio here between ADA and Ethereum. Okay, so this would be like looking at any altcoin versus Bitcoin. Okay, it's how many satoshis? Well, I don't know what the smallest unit of measure on Ethereum is called, a Vitalik. I don't know, but this gives me a ratio, and yeah, the ratio is dropping. Ethereum is doing better at this point. Ethereum is doing better than Cardano. No big deal. Over here a few weeks ago, back in May, we started doing much better against it. This isn't telling me a whole lot. It really isn't. At this point, all it's saying is that currently Ethereum is doing better than when compared to ADA. Okay, fine. Later on, when we are in an upward trend, when we are starting to work our way higher up in the bull run, then we'll be looking at, okay, as we're moving, everything's moving up. Now we'll look at which one's doing better. Is it ADA or is it Ethereum? That'll tell me something. All right, so let's look at Chainlink. And again, we're looking at the weekly time frame. There's not a whole lot of history on Chainlink. It's new enough that we really don't have any history anywhere we look. I'm using Coinbase because I know that Coinbase is most likely the exchange that most people are going to use when they come into these altcoins. So that's why I use it. Not because of the history, but because this is where I expect to see all the sales. And, we went way up. And you can still see down here on the other side, we're still overbought. I expect that Chainlink is going to cool off a little bit more. And the way the RSI works, if it stays right here at $15, which is roughly where we're at now, $14.93. If it stays at $15 for another week or two, you'll see this RSI drop off from more and more down towards center. Because the way the algorithm for the RSI works, That's just how it works. You can maintain a price long enough for the RSI to cool off and say, okay, we're no longer overbought or oversold. So I don't know. At this point, we had a big sell-off last week. That was where everybody decided to take profits. I think most people have taken their profits at this point. We dropped by $5, $6, and per coin. That's a lot of profit. That's a massive amount of profit, especially if you bought it at $1 or $2 or less per coin. That's a massive amount of profit. Okay, so we've taken profits, and at this point, we're just settling in. We may go sideways for a few weeks. No big deal there. Again, this is what stocks and crypto all do. We go sideways. When we're undecided, we don't know what we're going to do yet. We're resting. We're accumulating. We're in an accumulative stage. We're relaxing, gathering up our strength to sprint to the next one. Not a big deal. This is normal. I hear people panicking all the time. Oh my God, we've dropped off. We've dropped off. Yeah, yes. This is that whole buy the dip thing. This is that dip that they keep talking about. Again, not investment advice. If you listen to me about it for investment advice, you're going to lose all your money. Don't listen to me. I'm simply pointing out, here's what I see on the charts, and the chart's showing me a dip that that proverbial dip that everyone talks about buying. This is it. This is what it looks like when you're in it. When you're out of it, when you've gone past it, it's easy to spot. Oh, I should have bought back down here. Yeah, maybe you should have. Again, I got to keep saying this. Not investment advice. Don't take anything I say seriously. This is for entertainment and education only. But yeah, so this is what that dip looks like. I will see you again next time. Until then, remember, don't trust, verify.